Emily, there's all kinds of things I want to talk with you today about, but why don't we start with the Prince of Wales' visit to Saudi Arabia, not least because of the statement he and the Princess of Wales jointly put out just before he went, literally as he left.
Yeah, they basically wanted to recognise the victims of Epstein, and this was put out as they were leaving the UK, leaving one royal Epstein scandal behind. But I would say that actually he may find that he's just flown straight into another one, because he is meeting with Mohammed bin Salman in Riyadh, the Crown Prince, and the government has paid tribute to this and said how well it's going. The palace is delighted that he's there sort of ostensibly to help sort of trade and to help foment relations between the two countries. Mohammed bin Salman appears many, many times in the Epstein files. Now, obviously, as we always say, this does not prove any kind of wrongdoing or criminality. But Jeffrey Epstein calls him somebody that he knows very well. And in November of 2016, I think it's worth pointing out that Epstein actually suggested that he could have a formal role at the top of the Saudi court working alongside bin Salman. He actually offers to be his financial advisor. He says that he will demand a meeting on Skype, 30 minutes every 2 weeks with the prince, and he'd need to review all financial components myself. This is November of 2016, just the same month that Donald Trump became president for the first time, or won the election, I should say, for the first time. And I don't know if somebody here has joined the dots, you know, that they were already sending Prince William into the arms of a man that for many will be synonymous with the murder of the journalist Jamal Khashoggi and the allegations that sort of pursued members of the royal family in Saudi for that. And now there are these links that we can all see between Epstein and MBS. Again, drawing this sort of...
They must have been reading those.
You would have thought, right? So I guess the question is, what are we sort of suspending that part of our brains to sort of say, oh, well, it's Andrew that he's getting away from now? Because if he's just talking about the victims and he's still, you know, walking alongside somebody who Epstein considered to be somebody he knew very well and was offering to work alongside... You know, the mind boggles.
There's risk obviously, at the very least, isn't
yes, there? The tentacles of the Epstein files go everywhere.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's, you know, it's not like he sort of left, you know, one scandal and gone for a nice hike in the sort of Pembrokeshire Hills or anything. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. He's walking right into another controversy.
Or gone to meet the Spanish cousin royals.
Right.
You know, that would have been quite a nice trip, wouldn't it, in comparison? And this conversation I'm having... Excuse me.
As you choke.
You might have to take over, Emily. This hour with callers is all about those statements, like the statement that William and Kate put out, like the statement that the King has put out this week and did so at the end of last year alongside Queen Camilla. So far, so nothing, really, apart from the removal of the titles. When it comes to the victims, it's mentioning the victims. But is there still a sense that they are protecting this man?
No, I don't think they're protecting him at all. I don't.
He's out in the cold.
I think from the moment that they took the title away, what they were essentially saying was, whoever needs to talk to him, you come and get him. It does not come back to me, as in King Charles. I think that was the first indication that if the Met Police want to investigate, they could. He is now Mountbatten-Windsor, Mr., you know, as we know. He's not living in Royal Lodge. Yes, he's not been paid for by the taxpayer. He's in Charles's own residence now. I know you can you can ask what that means in terms of who ultimately pays the bill on that house. But I think that was a very clear sign from the King that Andrew's on his own on this one.
Short of him moving in next door to me or you, he is.
They're basically saying if you want to question him, we're not going to get in your way. And I think from what I'm hearing from those close to the King, there is a sense of dread in all this, right? You know, you don't want to invite it, but I don't think there are any barriers anymore to it happening because they know it has to happen. And I would say that it also has to happen, presumably with the Met Police, right? Now, that's not something that the royals control. That's not something that goes to King Charles. If the Met Police want to investigate...
Well, he said it was Thames Valley he alluded to.
Thames Valley, exactly.
Thames Valley Police, if we are approached by Thames Valley Police, we stand ready to support them, as you would expect. Is that royal code for we'll give them whatever document they need?
I don't know if we'll give them whatever document, but I think it has to show willing. When I asked Andrew about any testimony he would give, this was in the interview 6 years ago, he used this odd phrase. He said, well, I take legal advice, but if push came to shove.
If push came to shove and the legal advice was to do so, then I would be duty-bound to do so.
And I was like, I do think that push has come to shove.
Yeah.
I mean, whichever way you look at it, this is the shove. The shove has taken 6 years,
His understanding, even then, when you did that interview, his understanding of A, how it was going, and B, whether to do it or not. I mean, I'm sure you're very glad he did decide to do it, but his understanding of his situation was completely off beam, wasn't it?
But that was why we asked those questions. We asked those questions so it would be a record of fact. We knew that it would serve whatever happened in the future. And, I guess it means that if the FBI, if Congress, if Thames Valley Police come and question him, he has already accepted that he will help.
Right. Well, let's see whether that reassures callers here on LBC, because a lot of people are saying that they are, including myself actually, that they have been disappointed so far with the statements that have been put out. When you look at the series, you and I have seen other royal crises that predate your interview with Andrew, but the content of this and that interview just is so much more serious than all of those that went before. Thank you very much, Emily. Emily Maitlis, co-host of the News Agents. Today's latest episode drops at 5 o'clock.